What's up? You're listening to the Twosome Podcast. I'm your host, Blair Wheeler, here with DJ Thama. In this episode, we're going to dive into my background in golf. We're trying to set this platform up, this podcast up, to have a consistent theme every week so that you, the listener, and the viewer, if you're watching this, know what to expect from us weekly and then from the guests that we're having. Because we do get some amazing people that are interested and intrigued and want to be on the podcast. And so we're trying to set this up so you know what to expect from them. You kind of know the format and you're just sitting here listening. So we dive into my background in golf and how I got to this place where I am now as a content creator and a podcaster and a digital media host, or whatever you want to call me. We dive into the Zurich Classic and talk about we will be the twosome at the Zurich Classic next year. That's going to be our event. We're going to own that. We're going to talk about that. And then we're also going to talk about DJ's golf, because I live vicariously through him at this point. I don't get to play a lot of golf. He does, so we talk about his golf. But anyways, that's this episode of the Twosome Podcast. Hope you enjoy it, and here's the rest of the episode. What's up? You're listening to the Twosome Podcast. I'm your host, Blair Wheeler, here with DJ Thama. DJ, what's going on, brother?
What's happening? A lot of things are happening. Another new backdrop for me. Yeah, right. Gearing up to go back to Minnesota for the summer. Weather's getting good up there finally, so we're going to keep that year-round golf going by trekking up there shortly. Probably leave on Monday. 26-hour drive. What's the longest you go on a drive before stopping?
I have a hard cutoff of 4 hours. If I have to drive longer than 4 hours, I'm looking at flights.
Okay.
No, not even like, I think my in-laws live 4.5 hours away. I haven't done that drive in quite a while, but that's kind of my max. 4.5 hours, and I'm looking at flights, and I would much rather sit in coach on an airplane.
Yeah, I think my cutoff would be 6 hours. Growing up, like going to the cabin or lake house, whatever, it was always 3 hours away. So like getting in the car and running, going 3 hours for me is like super, super, super easy. Yeah. I think that 6 is the cutoff towards like Minneapolis from, growing up, Minneapolis to Chicago, 6 hours. Milwaukee, that kind of like 5 hour mark. So I think like getting somewhere for me for 6 hours is doable. And after that, I'm with you, I'm booking a flight, but we're sending wife and baby on the flight, and then I'm driving the car, and then we have a little trailer with all of our things. So we're kind of just gearing up for that, packing our life away to unpack it, and we do that twice a year.
Dude, what's it like to be wait, your birthday was yesterday, so happy birthday, DJ.
Thank you.
If I was a better producer, if we had something else, I would be like, cue the music, and we would sing happy birthday, but I'm not going to put the listeners through that. But happy birthday. 31?
31, yep.
31.
So I'm in the irrelevant birthdays now until obviously 40. So
there too.
There's nothing. It's another day. We did just some family stuff. I got out and golfed. Let's see, 2 times since we talked last. Nothing over the weekend. I wanted to spend time with family and wife and baby. And my mom was in town. In-laws are in town. So that was great. It was another normal day, which is everything I wanted.
So, I haven't played golf since the last time we talked. I'm sure a lot of listeners are the same way. We are living vicariously. I'm talking about me now. And I feel like, I'm the average guy, the average golfer.
Yeah.
I live vicariously through my friends who get to play golf, and then I ask them, how'd you play? What was the course? So I'm going to do the same for you.
Yep.
Give me the rundown. Like, how did you play? Where did you play? Tell me the story about your golf game so I can pretend in my head like I'm out there living my best life.
Golf game is like a yo-yo right now. I played last Thursday at a club called Bonita Bay East. They have like 5 tracks. 2 of them are inland, 3 of them are on the ocean. And so I played on the inland ones, or inland one. It's called Sable. Not too hard. It's a tough track. I shot a 78. It was a good day all around. I played the same track the week before, shot a 74. But I'm starting to learn. I've always been. I'm a back 9 player. hence why my spices are called back nine. But I'm usually, if I can go out and shoot a 40 on the front, I'm gearing up to break that 80 all day long. So shot 40 on the front there, and then a 38 on the back on Thursday. Friday, I played at Calusa Pines, which is, if you've never heard of Calusa Pines, it's a really exclusive track in Naples. It is insane. It's the nicest golf course I've ever been able to play on. So that was like special. It's like its own moment. It's a really gentleman's club, caddies only.
Raise my hand there.
Yeah.
I just Googled Calusa Pines because I'm trying to be a good producer in this.
Yeah.
It's the 5th course in Florida, and above it is Seminole, TPC Sawgrass, Stadium course, Stream Song Red, Stream Song Blue, Calusa Pines.
Yeah.
So you're not kidding. Like that's true.
So it's top tier, and like I've never played TPC Sawgrass, been there, seen it. It has its own. I think it's that high because of the tournament. It still seems like an awesome special track, but Seminole I think is pretty comparative from what I've heard. I've never played it, but there's a couple members that are members at both places there. So anytime you get that call, you go and play it. It's pretty special. It's the highest elevation point in Collier County, which is where Naples is, in Collier County. So it's actually a Florida track that has elevation,
That's cool.
elevated greens and everything. Dude, it's one of those where your short game has to be so good, and that is the part of my game that lacks. So, tiny greens, and if you're just not on, it's just one of those where you could put a ball 2 feet from the pin, and it slides off and rolls all the way off the green and into the water. There's just no forgiveness.
Yeah.
So I don't mind every once in a while going out and just getting my ass kicked by the course. Sometimes that's fun for me. Like it's just like, hey, that's golf. So I think golf that day was like the second part of kind of the whole experiencing. It's my second time out there, but for me, a lot of times like golf too is just such a great networking spot. Like that's where so much of my, social media is my full-time job, but like there's always side stuff going on, right?
Yeah.
Whether it's real estate, I have my real estate license, whether it's just connecting and trying to help other people's businesses. For me, like that's a big part of golf for me, is that relationship aspect of the people who you're playing with, more than just going out and it's not a contest for me every time of like, yeah, obviously I want to play well, but I want to have a great time. I want to have these great connections, and you get some of these people that you get out there and they're in their element too. So it's not, maybe it's a, high-end banker somewhere who talks finance all day long, and then you get him out to the golf courses and he kind of opens up and he's like, you kind of crack that shell, right? And you get to see his true personality. I think that's what's so cool about golf for me is the relationship aspect that you have with people. I don't know, besides just the game of golf. I don't know if you feel that way at all, but that's kind of...
Yeah, I agree 100%. Like, that's part of the fun, is getting out there and getting to experience it and getting to spend time with 3 other guys for 4.5, 5 hours. And I'm just going to throw this out there to the listeners of Twosome. It's our individual communities. If you're a member of a really nice private club and you want to invite me and DJ out to play, we're open for invitations. Like,
Absolutely.
We're accepting them, and we are here to play golf and have a good time.
Yeah,
We're available.
And that's what happened for this one. It was someone who had followed me on social media for a while, and he said, hey, when I'm in town and not busy for work, I'd love to host you and have you out to my club. And I'm like, absolutely. And sometimes we've talked about this before, it gets a little tricky because like you kind of have to vet the people who they are. And
weird.
In this case, I'm 3 for 3 on them now, so I'm getting more comfortable where it's like been fantastic people, fantastic courses. So like if we can keep that stretch going, amazing. But yeah, DMs are always open, whether it's a Twosome podcast, whether you're a fan of Blair or a fan of myself, DM us. We would love to come out and play. There's nothing better than being America's guest.
Yeah, and I will say it does. Like you mentioned, it gets weird in the DMs. Like you get some weird stuff.
Oh yeah.
Just don't be weird. But
Yeah.
you know, if you're a member of a nice private club, I'm available.
Yeah.
It might be uncouth to throw that out there. People might be like, "Oh, dude, that's kind of a douchey move." To offer yourself up like that, I don't care. I like playing nice courses, so is what it is.
Nice courses, nice people. You mean what can go wrong?
Yeah. Before we go into how you played, because we talked about collusive pines, we were having this conversation offline, and I wanted to bring it up here. We were having this conversation with my agent, Michael, and we were talking about logos and private course logos and wearing them and this, that, and the other. What's the rules? What are your rules around wearing the logos? Because I think it's a sensitive subject for a lot of people.
Yeah, number one, I think the number one thing for me is like everyone knows that a logoed polo or a logoed hat or belt or whatever you get at the pro shop, that is like the guy's version of a designer purse, right? Like it's their, yep, absolutely. So for me, I'm not wearing a logo of a course I have not played. If it is, number one, there's certain courses. If it's Augusta National, not talking Masters logo gear, I'm talking Augusta National, different logo, different story, gifting, that's kind of different. Let's say my dad or my father-in-law go and play Pebble, and they get me a shirt. I'll wear the shirt 100%. Because it's meaningful to me that they were there, they bought me the shirt, I'll wear it. If there's no importance to said logo, not allowed to wear it.
Yeah. The one thing you don't want to happen is you're wearing, say, a Seminole shirt, and somebody sees it, because like you said, it's the unspoken flex, right?
Yeah.
Like I make fun of it in some of my like dress like a country club dad videos, where I'm like, I like to play nice courses, and this is where you can flex and wear a logo here, there, everywhere. But let's say I'm out at dinner with my wife or hanging out with my kids or whatever, and somebody sees me wearing a Seminole logo. They'd be like, "Oh my gosh, did you play Seminole?" And I'd be like, "Nah, I bought it."
Yeah, see,
that's not what you want to happen.
No. Or like, and there's no like, and there are people too. Maybe some people are like, yeah, I played it before, but then you like a little white lie, right? But then you're gonna get the question, well, how was it? What was your favorite hole? What was this like? And they're instantly gonna know that you haven't played it because of what they're asking.
Yeah. So you have two caveats to that rule, right?
Yep.
Augusta National.
Yep.
You can wear Augusta. I'm getting a thumbs up there. Augusta National, you can wear their logo.
Yep.
And then if a friend or family member got you a gift from that course. So my father-in-law goes and plays Pebble Beach, brings me back a Pebble Beach shirt. I can wear that.
Mm-hmm.
Those are your two caveats.
Those are my two.
Okay.
What do you think?
I agree. I agree with both of those.
Because I'm not gonna just not wear a present, right? Especially if it's a sick $115 polo, I'm gonna wear it, and a nice hat. Like, I'm gonna wear it.
As long as it's Johnny O.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. So yes, I agree. It gets touchy. There's guys out there that say like you can never wear a course logo unless you played that golf course, and I get it. And I have a friend who played Augusta National, and I got gifted an Augusta National hat, and I wear it all the time. He's like, "You can't wear that hat. You haven't played here." I'm like, "Yeah, but here's the cool story behind it."
Yep.
It's
meaningful. Yeah.
Somebody playing in the tournament got me the hat.
Yep.
And from the Members Pro Shop, like, it's meaningful. Hopefully I can play it one day, and I can do that for my friends and family, and I can, max out my Amex in the Augusta National Pro Shop and have one of everything. But until that day, I'm going to cling to my Augusta National hat and wear that. And I agree with the gifting thing. It's just rude not to. Like, my father-in-law went to Pebble Beach, got me a ball marker and a towel, and I use it all the time. People ask me, "Did you play Pebble Beach?" I'm like, "Nope, my father-in-law got me this towel." It's awesome.
Yep.
I love it.
Well, and that's also the thing too. Like, you're not lying. Like, I'm not saying that I played there. I'm not wearing it as a flex that I played there. I'm wearing a nice quality shirt that has a sick course on it, because it was a gift. Now, those are my two. I think the golf community would probably agree with that. Maybe you're gonna have some people that don't, but that's great. Tell us why. Give me your thoughts.
And I said this to him. I was like, I understand why you don't. Why you don't want me to wear the Augusta National stuff, or why somebody would be offended by the gifting aspect of it, because they want to protect that golf course. They want to protect their experience and make it special and make it exclusive, and it's part of the exclusivity thing. It's the same reason why, girls want Goyard bags. Like, you can't get them at a random Nordstrom's. You can't get them at any country, anywhere in the world. You can't order them online. You have to buy them in store. Like, it's the same kind of thing. I understand it.
Yeah. So, okay, also off the pro shop, what's your go-to gift for someone in the pro shop?
Ball marker.
Okay.
I collect ball markers wherever I play
a
course or a nicer course. I'll get shirts are always weird because you are iffy on sizing, and every brand runs a little different. Like, I wear a large in Johnny O. Used to wear like a medium in Grayson and an extra large in Ralph Lauren and all these other brands. Like, the sizing in golf, that's a whole nother podcast topic we can do one day.
We could spend hours talking about that.
Oh my god, dude, the sizing in golf is freaking, like, it's dumb. It needs to change. It needs to be standard sizing. Because there's no reason why I should wear a small in FootJoy and a double XL in Jay Lindbergh. Like,
correct.
Thankfully, I just wear a large in Johnny O now. But previously, I had an issue. So my go-to, it's always a ball marker. I always get a hat. I think that a really cool gift to get people that I've seen in a couple of nice courses is like rocks glasses, whiskey glasses.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool because then you get to have a collection of like different whiskey glasses. Also, could run out of space for those if you don't have enough storage space for said glasses. But yeah, I typically go hat, ball marker,
And does that stay the same if you're buying it for someone else, or does it shift a little bit?
No, it typically stays the same because I never ask sizing for people. Like, I just kind of on a whim buy something.
Yeah.
And so I never know what size in the pro shop, and a lot of the stuff there is sized, or it's head covers, and like, I'm not going to spend $200. Like, I love my friends, I love my family that plays golf. Sorry, I'm not spending $300 on a head cover for your driver. Like, unless it's Augusta National, then that's another story. But I went and played golf with Mr. Player at the Bears Club in Florida, and it's Jack's course, like his home course in Jupiter. I'm not going to spend $300 on a head cover for the Bears Club.
Yeah.
Like, I'll get you a $30 ball marker.
Yeah.
So
and a hat. Hats are the go-to. I mean, I think for me, hats they're easy. Everyone loves a hat, and don't get something crazy. I always get it's always better to be safe than sorry, right? Yeah. Like, don't get something that's like bright pink, or now the new fad is like the letters upside down and crooked and mirrored.
Yeah.
Like, whatever, they're gonna go through the face, but get something simple and plain where these people you can wear it forever. It's timeless, right? So. And
you say this for those guys just listening, as you wear a bright aqua and pink and orange TaylorMade hat. So
I just got it out of the pack today. Ripped the stickers off. So I don't know. Have I even announced? I know we were talking about this before, but I'm a TaylorMade guy. TaylorMade guy now. That's big. Pretty pumped about that. So
yeah, that's two announcements we can make. You're TaylorMade, and I am officially a Mizuno guy.
Love that. Look at us go.
Yeah. The average golfer signing brand deals for clubs. How's that work?
If we can do it, anyone can do it. Set up the camera, take some quality videos, and talk.
Tell a story.
Tell your story, and just be confident in who you are. And my biggest thing is, we're going to go down this content hole a little bit. Just be authentic and continue to be like who you are. Don't change on screen to off screen. Just like continue to show your personality, and only use, for me too, which I'm sure you can say, if it's not involved in my daily life, I'm not going to show it really on my page and show it in an ad, like, because I want to run. It's got to be true. It's got to be authentic. Got to be loyal to the brand and obviously your audience. So, look at us go. Back to how I played Calusa though. I didn't play that well. It's just short game was off.
It's hard those courses because you want, like, I've been, there's a course near me called Eagle Point, and they played the Wells Fargo there in 2017. Same thing. Like, you get there and you're so, not overwhelmed, but like enamored, I think is a good word for it, by the experience. You don't get to play this course often. You've built it up in your head for what it's going to be like, how it's going to be. The caddy takes your bag. You're there with a member, you know, the CEO from freaking Wells Fargo may be in the pro shop with you. You don't know. Like, I ran into one of the founders of Johnny O the last one I was there. And
that's
luckily
cool.
I knew him, but he was just sitting in the bar. He's like, Blair, what are you doing here? I go, playing golf. What are you doing?
Well, and that's the thing too. It's like, and even for my case, like, I had never met this person who I'm playing with, number one. I had been to this course one other time, but you don't know the setup. I mean, each course is kind of like different too. Like, we're country club guys, we understand what it's like to show up at a nice club, and the bit is very similar across, you know, clubs. But there's still that little like bit of nerves in you. Like, you're showing up somewhere for the first time. It's like I don't know if I feel like I should be here. Like, I'm not, almost like that I'm not worthy bit. And then by hole like 4, you're best friends with this new guy and you're having a great time, and at that thing golf's going well, you're like, dude, this is the best day ever. And so, like, all the nerves, that stuff goes away on the wayside, and then you just continue to have a good day. Yeah,
like I said, when I play super nice, you know, private clubs, Eagle Point being one, Country Club North Carolina being another one, I always think about it and build it up in my head for like what I want the experience to be. And same with you, like, I'm going to Stream Song in a few weeks, I guess a few months now, but I've built it up in my head to what I want the experience to be, or what I hope the experience is, and I really hope I didn't like oversell it, you know, to myself.
Right.
But you do the same thing in a nice club. Like, you build it up, you have this expectation, and there's a rule that I learned early on when I was traveling and surfing a bunch, surfing and competing. Expectations are your worst traveling companion, and I think that definitely translates to golf.
Oh, 100%. Absolutely. So you have this, and you hear about it too, and for me, in the Naples community, Naples area, you say Clues Pines, everyone kind of perks up, like, oh, you got to play there. It's like, not everyone gets to play there. I mean, very few get to play there. So then all of a sudden you have, like, I've been hearing this for years, and suddenly I can go and play it where I had that expectation, and it was it was a very similar expectation that I had to going to the Masters and going to see Augusta National for the first time. It blew my expectations. So now I'm in this whole new world where I didn't even think was like possible. And so, I mean, shout out to them for like beating the expectation, because I hold, you know, high expectations for those places, seen a lot of nice places, and get to play a lot of nice courses, and for it to just absolutely blow that expectation says a lot, like a lot. So all around, fantastic day on the course. It was a great birthday weekend. I'm excited to get back to Minnesota, golf up there. It's always interesting, like the adjustment, which blows my mind with professionals when they're bouncing. You know, they're North Carolina one week, they're Florida the next, and they're in Texas, and then they're in Louisiana, wherever the heck they may be. It blows my mind, like, how different, number one, golf is, and we're always aware of that, especially with elevation changes and grass types, and, you know, beyond just the weather alone. My biggest struggle is going, you know, from Florida up to Minnesota, and then it's like, oh, now there's actually rough. You know, the rough is actually thick. The greens are slower at the beginning of the year, and then get lightning quick up there. But, like, the all-around, you know, type of course, everything changes, and so I'm excited for my handicap to adjust to, you know, probably fall back to that four-ish mark, and so I don't have to go up so many strokes nowadays. So it's always like a nice 2-week, 3-week adjustment to where I'm like playing top-tier golf again. But that just shows, like, hats off to professionals that can do that overnight, right? They're playing they're playing on a Sunday championship round, and overnight they find a new destination. They get there Monday, maybe they take the day off, maybe they don't. Practice rounds Tuesday, and by Thursday they got to be ready to rock and roll on all new course conditions, right? And that's not even weather conditions alone. That's just straight course conditions. So
and I want to talk about the Zurich Classic while we're talking about this transition and stuff, because they did that from where they were Hilton Head, right? Which very, very low country golf, right? A lot of trees, very tight, and then not a lot of rough. And then they transitioned to, New Orleans, TPC New Orleans, or TPC Louisiana, in an entirely different format too. Mm-hmm. So it's not just the golf that's changing, but also, from week to week, they don't typically do this, but they're changing the format in which they play, which is kind of crazy.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of changing the format. I think this week. I love, so many people do, the team golf aspect where you're just not your own person. It's not just you versus the world. I love having that team aspect. I think that's what makes the Zurich Classic so great. I think that's what makes the Ryder Cups phenomenal. These co-combined events I think are fantastic. And I think the players love them too. I haven't asked anyone. Maybe when we get on the pod with our first professional guest, we can ask them that one. But I've got to imagine it's pretty fun for them because it shakes things up a little bit, especially after that March, end of February, March grind into the Masters where it's consistently, them versus the world, right? And then they can kind of have some fun with it, and maybe that sparks a little something in their game that can take them to the next level for the next week. I don't know, but it's cool to watch.
I think that's kind of the draw. That was the draw to live for me initially, was it had that team aspect, mm-hmm. and then it kind of fizzled out because they weren't really competing for anything like legacy, and they're competing for money. But what do I care? I don't have a tie to a team, and I don't, other than being friends with the guys, and I don't win anything, so I don't have an emotional connection to them. Anyways, I think that was a draw to live initially, but this week specifically, I was watching. So I don't get to watch a lot of golf Saturday and Sunday because I'm on dad mode, right? I'm coaching soccer, I'm freaking running around with the kids, I'm going to the pool now, it's hot out, so I'm all over the place. Don't get to watch golf Saturday and Sunday. But on Friday, I had it on in the background at work, and I was like, this is my event. This is me and DJ's spot. This is the twosome event with, Andrew Novak and Ben Griffin as the twosome competing and winning. And I think next year we need to own this event. Me and you, whether we're working there or not, we go. And this is the twosome event. We go to it, and you bring in the fact that it's in New Orleans. It's a big food city.
We
could get down on some gator tag.
Oh yeah, let's do it. We're planning it right now. We'll twosome. If you guys are interested in going with, we'll set up a little trip. We can do the whole bit. This is our event. We're claiming it right now.
Yeah, we're claiming the Zurich Classic. Not a signature event. Not even like a B tier PGA Tour event.
Doesn't matter. I love it.
Me and DJ, the twosome podcast, going to the twosome event in New Orleans. So get ready. I'm excited. Have you been to New Orleans, first of all?
No.
Awesome.
Never have, which is another reason.
My favorite city in the world, in part, I have a little bit of a homer aspect to it, is Charleston, South Carolina. I'm a huge history nerd. I can go down the rabbit hole of Revolutionary War history, Civil War history, ancient history, the whole deal. I kind of check out after Civil War once it gets to World War I, World War II. Don't really care about it that much yet. Probably going to move into that aspect later in life because I feel like everybody does.
Yep.
But New Orleans has a lot of those same historical ties. A lot of history there with the French Revolution, the French Indian War, and the French had it. And then there's a ton of the voodoo history there.
Yeah.
The Creole stuff. And then obviously gators everywhere and the crazy food and spices, and it's wild. I was working there doing an event in 2016 during the World Cup.
Oh, wow.
We went and saw a World Cup game at a random Irish bar in New Orleans, and it was the best soccer game I've ever watched on TV in my life. It was amazing.
Atmosphere was just pumping.
Yeah, it's just like New Orleans had a vibe, and like you don't want to go to Bourbon Street, like that was smelled. I walked down there at like 10 a.m. on like a Tuesday, and it just reeked.
That's what I was gonna go next. Like, how bad did it smell? Oh,
dude,
stale beer and
like,
seafood.
Bourbon Street has like all these doors that like kind of roll up to all the bars, like garage doors basically.
Okay.
And they were like hosing it out, like the bar, like, and it was a combination of stale beer, vomit, and piss. And I was like, get me off of this street.
Yeah.
Don't want to be here. Don't want to be here at night. Nothing happens here. So once you get off Bourbon Street, New Orleans is awesome. So Zurich Classic, if you're listening, we're coming. 2026.
Yep. No love it. It'll be another city off the list for me. So.
Yeah, it's gonna be fun. It's gonna be fun. So, but on this podcast, we talked about it, off air. We had a little meeting with our individual teams last week, and one thing that we're aiming to do with this podcast is, shed some light and give some information and have some knowledge share, either between me and you or the guests that we're having, and really pull something out of them that we feel is valuable, and ultimately we hope that you guys, the listeners, get something out of it too. So we figured, we'd go down that rabbit hole together and go through some questions and basically interview each other about our backgrounds in golf, why it's been so important to us. We kind of did this a little bit the first episode, but we're going to formalize it moving forward. So there's a real format to these podcasts, and so that when we have guests on, you can kind of know what to expect.
Yeah.
So, DJ.
Yeah.
You want to take it? Or do you want me to? You want me to start it off?
I'll take it.
Okay.
So, like you said, format too, and it'll change. It'll change depending upon who our guest is a little bit, obviously. But Blair, you're gonna be our first guest, right? We're gonna start off with you. Basically, the first thing, and golf is this not just a sport, and we can both agree on that. I touched on it earlier. The relationship with golf, that you have, like what does golf mean to you?
That's such a big question now, because it's not only my pastime and my hobby, but it's also my job. Mm-hmm. So for me, like, there's so many different meanings, and I've played golf my entire life. I joke with people when they ask me like when I started. I say, like, I started too long ago to be this bad. Right? Like, I've been playing golf literally my entire life. My dad played, my grandfather played, and my dad passed away when I was 2, but one of my earliest memories, and my favorite memory to this day, other than like my kids and my wife and stuff, my favorite childhood memory, I guess, is going to the golf course with my grandfather and just hanging out with him and his, I guess they would have been like 55, 60-year-old men at his country club. It was air quotes country club, but his country club, when I was 6 and 7 years old. It was one of the best things. He would take me to shag golf balls. They had a range, but you had to pick up your own golf balls. Take me to shag golf balls. I'd pick them up. I'd hit a little, I don't know what they're called, but the ball shagger things.
Yeah, like a little plunger.
Yeah, like a little plunger.
Yeah.
I'd plunge the balls. I'd go hit a bucket, and then we'd go play golf. I'd get a yellow Gatorade and a hot dog, and I was in heaven, because these guys were like just normal dudes, and they were just hanging around playing golf with this 7-year-old. That was one of my favorite memories, and I guess what golf means to me now is its connection and family connection, because now one of the things that I'm looking forward to most is having that memory with my kids, all 3 of them, both my sons and my daughter. Like, I cannot wait until we can actually go to the golf course and they can enjoy it and not asked to leave after an hour just because they get bored. Like, they like golf now and they like going to the golf course and hitting golf balls, but it's not to the point yet where we can go play golf together.
Yeah.
And one of the things I'm looking forward to most in my life, and why I keep, I guess, doing this stuff, is so that they can have the opportunities that I'm having now to, go to Pinehurst, go to Pebble Beach, go to Stream Song, and then we can create those memories together.
No, that was beautifully said, beautifully put, and I think a lot of people have that. For you, it's that the core memories that you're you said you want to continue on, with them. Has that now that you're working in golf, for the most part, or the whole part, did you know you wanted to work in the golf industry then, when you were younger, or is this something that just happened and thank God it happened?
Yeah, I literally kind of fell into it, right? Like,
Okay.
when I was younger, I was a surfer. I played golf. I played golf in high school, but I was never good. I joke and I say, like, I only played golf in high school my last, 2 years because the coach was okay with me missing practice to go surf because he knew I wasn't going to go play college golf. Like, every other guy was going to play at Clemson or College of Charleston or Coastal or wherever. And not me. Like, I was still shooting in, the mid to high 80s, low 90s then, which for us, I guess, a 16-year-old's decent, but not anymore when you look at Blades Brown and those guys.
Yeah.
But I worked in surfing and action sports. I ran a surf shop. I went to work for Hurley and was a marketing manager and global marketing manager for them. And I was always in action sports and always in surfing, and then didn't get into the golf industry until, I guess, COVID. I got hired by a headwear company to run sales and marketing for them, specifically in action sports and breweries. And then I got laid off during COVID, during a massive layoff. And I kind of fell into golf. I just started doing more social media and really put an effort into it and talking about it and getting comfortable doing videos and getting comfortable doing voiceovers. And that's when my really content career started to accelerate. And then I got my job in golf, which is digital marketing, right? During that same time. So it all kind of came together where I just started working in golf after an entire career in the surf industry prior to that. So yeah, I kind of just fell into it, and thank God it did, because it's offered and brought so many amazing opportunities and made me a lot of good friends, like you and Michael and my buddy Sean, everybody that I work with. And I mean, it's been a massive blessing.
Yeah, I mean, that's also something. I know it's your interview today, right? But I'm gonna click into something here too, because I think, for me, it was very similar timing, right? Where that COVID changed a lot of people's lives. My wife and I actually moved to Florida, pre-COVID by 8 months. And for me, my background was in something totally different. And that's kind of where I fell in love with the game even more than I was before. And same way, the timing on everything is everything. And it forced me, like you, to be comfortable making content, to do these videos. And then now it's same thing. I never thought I'd have a job in golf, specifically one that I can go and play at all the time. Maybe it was on the back end of things, but not being on the front side of the camera. So super cool that you took that transition really, really well from a totally different avenue and made it, to what it is today. And I'm sure there's a lot of stuff that has transformed and, inspired you along the way. If you had one piece of advice, I guess, not even advice, but kind of background knowledge of how has the game of golf brought you to that next level, or have gotten you through a difficult part of your time, difficult time period of your life, I should say. Because a little background, for me, golf used to be this oasis where I could just go out to the course and completely forget about everything, and I had my 4 or 5 hours of just me time, forget about the world. So I'm interested to see, now that it's your job, has that answer changed since you have this as a job now in the industry, or not so much? Or is it kind of a two-parter for you?
I think that answer is still to be determined for me.
Okay.
Because right now I'm still trying to figure out my relationship with golf as a non-content creator, digital media person, right? Because at this point in my life, with 3 kids and the businesses that I run, I don't get to go play golf just for fun. Maybe 2 or 3 times a year. Do I put my phone away, leave it in the truck, and just say, hey, you know what? I'm playing golf today. So when that does happen, amazing. I love it. It reinvigorates my like love for it, for whatever's going on. But I'm still right now just trying to figure out like what that relationship is and how I balance and the balancing act of that. Like, what's the balancing act for me between going out for 3 holes, filming the content I need to be filmed, and go home, and because it's work, I can't go play golf 5 hours every day of the week. I would never get any like computer work done, which is more than half of our jobs.
For sure.
So, yeah, for me, it's like I don't have the answer to that question because I'm still trying to figure it out and navigate what that looks like.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, completely makes sense, and that's where I have struggled with it too. Where, like I said, that used to be my 4-hour, 5-hour oasis where I could forget about the world and go do that. But again, as a dad now, I don't get that time to do that. If I go and play golf, it is for work, and so like, while it's still amazing, that has hampered it a little bit. It has definitely infringed upon that time that I was able to take away and have for myself, but for good reason. So I'm not mad that that's happened. It's just different now, right?
Yeah, I don't have any ill will towards, not getting to play golf. Like I have a friend across the street, my neighbor. He plays golf once a week. He goes out to the golf course, a public course. He just goes and plays, and he invites me every time. I'm like, dude, I wish I could. I don't have any ill will towards that. I'm just, because I get so many amazing opportunities to play. Like, I got to play Tobacco Road and number 2 back-to-back days last week. And, I constantly have pinch me moments where I have to pinch myself when I'm at these places, at these courses, playing golf for work with whomever, right? Gary Player, Tom Watson, Adam Scott, like you name it. I constantly, Jonathan Stewart, he's going to be on the podcast. He's the all-time leading rusher for the Panthers.
Amazing.
I never in my wildest dreams thought, a Panthers running back would be calling me to go play golf.
Well, and that's what's so cool. I see right here on one of the next questions that we have up here for said guests in the future too is, how does or how has golf, enhanced your life with those relationships too? It's like you wouldn't be having these conversations with these guys and having friendships that you never thought probably before you were going to have a relationship and a great friendship with Gary Player, with Jonathan Stewart, or being able to call, guys like potentially Adam Scott and like you have this massive network now because of the game of golf. And that is an insane pinch me moment. And the same way goes for me where, for me, it's more on that business side of like, I used to use it for like the relationship of like real estate, right? Where you're bringing on in with clients or potential clients and still do. And just that networking opportunity. But besides that of enhancing your life, like work relation, I mean, these friends relationships that are kind of that next tier of people, like that's awesome. That's crazy, and we're lucky. And again, I have to pinch myself a lot too to be like, wow, is this real life? It's pretty amazing.
I constantly have to do that. I'm gonna be. I guess we can talk about this here. I'm gonna co-host a couple episodes of a TV show on CBS that's coming out in May. It's called This Is Golf, right? We filmed 2 episodes a couple weeks ago, one at Tobacco Road and one at Pinehurst number 2. I never thought in my wildest dreams I'd be on a freaking TV show.
That's
on
awesome.
CBS. Like, it's crazy. And I constantly have to say to myself, like, dude, this is not reality. You are still a normal person.
Mm-hmm.
Don't get a big head about yourself. You're just Blair, and you happen to be, relatively internet famous in a good way. You have an OnlyFans. You're not like throwing socks
that we know of. You're probably doing it under a different name.
yeah, Claire Wheeler. But yeah, dude, I constantly have to pinch myself. But it's so, and I guess that's what the game of golf has given to me. It's given me an entire career and an entire life away from my kids that I never thought I was going to have or happen. Just didn't even comprehend it. When I graduated at Coastal Carolina, I got a communications degree. And I was like, oh, I'm just going to go get a marketing job. Like, whatever. Like,
Yep.
I'll just go work and retire maybe when I'm 60, 70. Now it's like, dude, I'm talking to TV show. I'm on a TV show. Have a podcast. I'm constantly doing social media. My account reaches between 5 and 10 million people a week.
Yeah.
Like, I get more views than CNN. And that in and of itself is what is the pinch me moment and what golf has given me. It is the constant stream of endorphins that I get when I'm doing this stuff. And it's crazy.
Right. And that's just how you are. That's just where it is now. Imagine as time goes on and as your page continues to grow and as you become better at what you're already doing too. Like, imagine the doors that are already open for you and then where that's going to continue to go. Like, that's something that I look back at too, and I think to myself, I'm like, we're already here. Like, where can we go from here? Like, that's special. And I think this is the last one on here, and I think yet it's the most important. And the question states, what lessons from the game apply to your life, your professional life, for you? So let's hear the final, but I think one of the most important ones.
Yeah. I mean, it teaches you a lot. And I constantly, like, they always say golf is a thinking game, and it's between the ears and all those like traditional sayings about golf and how you have to think through it. And that's true in life because, whenever you get dealt adversity, you have to figure out how to, get past it, move on, get to the next step. And you have to do the same in golf. If you're, you hit a slice and you're behind a tree, sometimes you got to take your medicine. Sometimes you can go for it. But going for it might lead to a triple or quadruple bogey. Taking your medicine might lead to a bogey. So, and you can just move on and play the next hole. So I think it's more so just learning to slow down, learning to think, remembering to, assess the situation, and then act on it. Don't just walk up to your ball and say, oh, you know what? I think it's 150 yards. Get the rangefinder out, check it, make sure it is. Then you can go play, go do your thing. If you're behind a tree, talk to your playing partner. You think I got a window? Probably not. All right, I'll punch out. Take a 7-iron to punch out into the fairway. Seriously, take those steps to figure out the game. And I think that's true in life. I'm still trying to figure it out, though. I'm no expert. Don't take advice from me because I am constantly failing and trying to figure it out and move forward. So
that's life.
You.
Yeah, no, that's life. I think that's wonderfully said. I couldn't agree more too. I look at it as, every hole is, a blank slate, right? So if you happen to bogey the first or double bogey the first, and then you get on to hole 2, my round starts over. Just like you wake up the next day, I'm going to have a different day than I did the day before. If I had a shitty day on Monday, I'm knocking on Tuesday. It's that mindset, is everything. And I know it's a very common answer, but you gotta. I love that aspect you said too. Like, get that rangefinder out, get the yardage, think about it for a second. Consider your options. Consider what happens if you just rush into things, and then take a moment and take that time and make a wise decision too.
Yeah.
But,
yeah, well, that's golf, dude. And it all goes back to, I always, when I hit a bad shot, I might get mad for a second, but I never stay mad for a long time. I will stay mad until I get to the next shot, and I'm like, all right, cool. Or the next hole. I might give myself a hole. Because I have meltdown holes. I play relatively, decent golf, but I'm almost guaranteed a 7 or an 8 at least once a round.
yeah.
But I never have a blow up rounds. I'll play consistent and then have a blow up hole. So I think that's consistent in life. But you just figure it out, keep on rolling, and that's golf, and that's life.
Yeah, no, that's what this pod is for, figuring out the difference between life and golf and how it all mixed together. And that's just something for you listeners too going forward. What you can expect to hear from, guests coming on here next week. Maybe it's a little more focused on, I can tell my story a little bit. And it's, the golf is a pillar here, and you have all these offshoots of life that, maybe is centric to golf and maybe it's not, something we can all relate to.
Yeah. And I always look at golf, whether it be my content or my work or whatever, as my North Star. Like that is what is my direction. We're going towards golf, but everything branches off of that, right? Cooking, fashion, travel, what car you drive, because you want to make sure your clubs fit into your BMW, like I said the other day.
Yeah.
You want to make sure my clubs fit in the back of my truck. Like everything branches off of that, and it's so cool that we can work and live in a space that can be so impactful, because golf is really the only sport that exists. Maybe tennis a little bit, but golf and tennis, let's say, are the only sports that you can turn on, watch on TV, guys playing at the highest level, and then go out there and do it yourself and have a whole lifestyle around it and play it for the rest of your life. Can't do that with football. Can't do that with hockey. Can't do that with soccer. You can do it with golf. And I think that's what draws me to it. I want to do it for as long as I can. And that's why Gary Player and I have become friends, because we talk about how I can live to be 150.
I want to, get the audience involved a little bit too, and just ask them, when you heard any of these questions that I'd asked you today, if you have a great answer to any of these, DM us, let us know, comment below, and I want to hear what you guys think about golf in general. The relationship that you have with golf, the lessons you learn from it, how that impacts your daily life. Maybe it doesn't at all. Maybe just getting into golf. What ask us questions about it too. This is for you guys to have an outlook on everything as well. So, great day, Blair. It's a good pod.
Looking forward to the next episode. You said you're heading to Minnesota this week?
I leave on Monday, so plan is to drive 10 hours Monday, and then probably drive another 10 on Tuesday, and arrive home sometime Wednesday morning. But whenever we figure out, I can take the pod on the road with me. So we don't know. Maybe I'll be coming to you from Georgia again. Maybe it's going to be Tennessee. I don't know. We'll find out.
You should stop in Nashville and do a pod from Nashville.
I love Nashville. I typically so I pull a trailer on the way back to we just have so much stuff, and the dog. So it's the dog's with me the whole time. It's a little boys trip. But typically we would stop in Nashville. It's a nice 12 hours. I don't know what the trailer depending on that situation, but there's nothing better than there's that. Is it the Holiday Inn, or there's one Hampton? There's something right on the corner, right on Broadway, where I just pull in, and they let me park right in front. It's valet, but I keep the trailer on, and there's park it out front. I'm I'm here for literally 13 hours. I'm gonna go down to Jason Aldean's. I'm gonna go grab a little bite at the bar, watch some live music on the rooftop, head back, let the dog out, go to sleep, and then on the road again in the morning. So maybe Nashville.
You should do it from Nashville. Let's tentatively plan for that. That'd be cool.
Okay.
And then it's Nashville. You never know who you might run into.
Right.
So we'll talk next week. Maybe we'll have a little playoff hockey to talk about with your Minnesota Wild. If they
can't get to a 3-1 lead. It's driving me nuts. I think it's 5 playoff appearances in a row. They haven't been able to get to a 3-1 lead. They always lose. That fourth and crucial game where they can spin it to 3-1. But hey,
maybe you can talk about that. My Hurricanes are looking pretty solid. So.
Yeah, they are. We love the game.
We'll see. But yeah, dude. Thank you for the time, everybody listening. Thank you for listening to the podcast. If you can, follow, subscribe, share, leave a comment on Apple Podcasts. That means a ton. We are looking for advertisers, so they look at that kind of thing. How many podcast listeners do they have? How many Apple reviews do they have? Leave a 5-star review on Spotify, and we appreciate you guys. We appreciate you spending a few minutes with us on whatever day this is that's coming to you, wherever you're listening to it. Hey, until next week, we're the Tucson Podcast. I'm Blair. This is DJ, and we'll catch you next week.
Yeah, hit them well. Get out and play if you can.